Hi people. So I just want to just dive right back to reading Genesis 25. My name is Deborah Dike. This is my YouTube channel, and in this channel I share everything about me. I'm so pumped today. I made a video earlier that was not related to this. So I just decided, you know what, you've been stalling completing the Genesis story about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Why not just do one chapter today? And so I'm jumping right into that and I'm reading Genesis chapter 25. So, welcome to Bible reading with Debbie. All right, so let's read. It is the story about the death of Abraham. Let's read. I'm reading from the King James Version. Death of Abraham. Then again Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah, and she bare him Zimram, and Jokshan, and Medan, and Midian, and Ishbak, and Shua. And Jokshan begat Sheba and Dedan, and the sons of Dedan were Ashurim, and Letushim, and Leumim, and the sons of Midian, Ephah and Epher, and Hanok and Abida and Elda. All these were children of Keturah. Remember at this point when Sarah has died. So I think it's best if you follow this from the series, from the playlist. Like it to take you from the first. I think I said from 15. I'm not too sure. And then to just play it while you do other things. Just play it by the side and you enjoy. Let's continue verse 5. What I had read earlier was verses 1 to 4. So verse 5 now. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac, but unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac his son, while he yet lived eastward unto the east country. Remember that Isaac is Abraham's promised son from God, and Abraham was responsible enough to protect him from any future unnecessary fights because of course, he cared for his other children, but again, he also had to be responsible. And remember that there was a time that God said, made a boast about Abraham and said he trusts Abraham will teach his children the way he will go. This is a sign of faith. So, ensuring that everyone was properly pleased and still kept away from interfering with the real heir, which is Isaac. And these are the days of the years of Abraham's life which he lived, 160 and 15 years. Then Abraham gave up the ghost and died in a good old age, an old man and full of years, and was gathered to his people, and his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, in the field of Ephron the son of Zohar the Hittite, which is before Mamre, the field which Abraham purchased of the sons of Heth. There was Abraham buried, and Sarah his wife. And it came to pass after the death of Abraham that God blessed his son Isaac. And Isaac dwelt by the well Lahai Roi. Now these are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's handmaid, bare unto Abraham. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael, by their names according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nebajot, and Kedar, and Abdil, and Mizbam, and Mishma, and Duma, and Massa. Hedar and Tema, Jetur, Naphish, and Kedema. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names, by their towns and by their castles. 12 princes according to their nations. And these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. And he gave up the ghost and died, and was gathered unto his people, and they dwelt from Havilah unto Shur, that is before Egypt, as thou goest toward Assyria. And he died in the presence of all his brethren. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padan Aram, the sister to Laban and the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord from his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. This is something I really love, absolutely love about Isaac. When Isaac and Rebekah couldn't have children, like, I'm not trying to compare, but when Sarah and Abraham didn't have children, Sarah took laws into her hands and sent her handmaiden so that she would get pregnant for Abraham and have a child for them. But there is something that Isaac did here that impressed me, which is why I really, really love Isaac the more. Yeah, that's my bias. He prayed. It says that he entreated the Lord on behalf of Rebecca, his wife. So pretty much Isaac took the responsibility of going to God in prayer about their situation, and that for me is very respectful. Like a man that does that for me, I admire. There's nothing not to admire about it. I mean, like, he didn't make it Rebecca's problem. It was also his problem, and he took it to God. And I love the fact that God honored it. Do you get, like, it's impressive. I think God understands authority somewhat. That's what I take from here, because Isaac took it to God and God honored it as far. Yeah, that's it. And the children, okay, and Rebecca, his wife, conceived because the Lord entreated him. That's what we had just read in 21. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord, and the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. There are really two manner of people. And the one people shall be stronger and the other people than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him. The score is 20. 80 years is 3 times 20. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter and a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents, a cunning hunter. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. I think for me, this is where the problem of Isaac and Jacob started. Yeah, there has been like a foundational proclamation about the elder will serve the younger and stuff like that, but I feel like this is where the real problem started. When they choose favorites, you know, once you choose favorite like this, while I don't start. And Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. So I like that the Bible describes it as Esau despising your birthright, because tell me why someone tell you to give your birthright for something that is very passing and you agree. But then again, it happens in life. It might not be pottage, you might not be very hungry, it might be something. So I might ask you, sleep with me, and you get the job. And you just look at it, what am I what am I doing myself all this while when I can see how this job will better my life, and you exchange it, and then you invite problem to yourself, because then you've exchanged your self-worth sort of, because you didn't really value what was placed on you. Or what other example can I use that is very relatable? Or your faith, and somebody says, you're looking for someone, and somebody said, okay, you would have this, but you can't do so, so, and so, and so, and so, and so, and so. That's that endangers your faith, and you'll be like, okay, this thing is more important to me than this faith. I think the whole idea is that in the moment, what was more pressing was Esau's hunger. And because it was more pressing to him, he over exaggerated it. Like he said he would die, but he wasn't going to die. But I think it's just value, not valuing what should be very valued. And I feel bad for Esau because Jacob, I wonder why Esau was described as cunning, because really Jacob was the cunning one. He outsmarted his brother. We're going to look at the effects later on of all of this drama, but it was a bad thing. Like, I don't like to think about it because anybody could be Esau. Anybody could be in Esau's position at the moment. And it's so sad that Jacob took advantage of his brother, because that's plainly what it was. Jacob took advantage of his brother and the situation at hand. And Esau did not even have enough regard for what he should be proud of, because especially maybe in this generation, being a first child is not so much, because how many inheritance do parents have these days to pass on to their firstborn children? But then it was of great worth. Like, look at what Abraham did to clear the road for Isaac, to ensure that as they heard that there was no problem, he made sure he sent everybody away. So that gives you an idea of whom a heir is in those times. And Esau just kind of, it's well, hopefully, yeah, it is. So that's it for today. Go through the playlist on the story of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and I'm sure you'll be blessed watching or listening to it, and how it happens to you. Just engage it. And more importantly, read your Bible. That's the whole idea of this. Study your Bible, make sense of the stories. Let it bless you. Let it teach you one thing or two or more about life. And of course, if you've made it to this point, like the video, subscribe, comment, and we'll grow the family together. Bye.